Hi everyone, Diana Rankin here, and I apologize. I could not come online Friday for our normal weekly come together to answer your questions that you've asked, Philip. Daisy had a fall, and her eyesight isn't that great, and her hips are tough, and we've had she's up to 14 as near as we can figure out. So it has not been an easy time, but it is Monday afternoon and I wanted to get this message to you and answer your questions. So hopefully I will also get the April predictions out this week and again see you then on Friday, a couple of days from now, the end of this week for our normal routine of your questions. But this is number 13. It's March 28th to April the 3rd. And so we're going to get right to it. Your healing energy and prayers for Daisy are certainly appreciated. She's doing a lot better. We actually both slept through the night last night. So that's the good news. And it's the first night since she fell Friday, right before I was getting ready, or Friday morning, I believe it was. I want to say Friday, right before I was getting ready to tape, but no, make this video, but no, it was before that. Anyway, darlings, we're going to get the message, and it'll be an interesting message, I think, and then we will get also our soul message from Phillip, and as you know, it's just a different. Well, hello, Michelle. Thank you. And I'm so grateful to be able to be on today. I'm sorry, I'm still a little emotional. Just had a lot going on besides Daisy. And of course, Daisy, as many of you met her when she used to sit in the office here with me. She's my heart, as well as my kitties. And it's it's a tough time for our animals. So many of them, like our humans, are leaving. So Grace from Australia, so good to see you. Thank you for coming on with this. I do want to remind you, in addition, we will get that message, but I also want to remind you, please send your questions in. You can put them in the comments below. I ask that those questions have a universal appeal, not an individual. For individual consultations, the numbers below, just contact me and we'll get you set up for a session. But here we go. I found this question quite interesting. And I found the answer even more interesting. So here we go. The question for Phillip is, if there are tree beings and stone beings, what other non-human beings exist in our physical world? Phillip says, if everything is made of energy, does it not then follow that everything also has its own energy and can be considered its own being? Ask yourself why you prefer to drink from one tea mug over another. Is it just the size or the memories it may produce? Could it not also be the energy of that tea mug? When you walk into an empty structure, do you not feel the energy? Of course you do. The structure has taken on the energy of all those beings, including humans that have passed through it. If everything is energy, does that mean these other beings have feelings? Not necessarily. Feelings are a human emotion that humans attribute to other species, such as their pets or even trees. Now, everyone who has a pet will tell you their pet has emotions, and this is true. The same person will also tell you a stone being has no emotion. Is this true that pets have emotions but stones do not? Yes and no, Phillip says. Okay, Phillip, go ahead. Phillip says yes and no, neither have emotions, and both do. Let us explain. The emotions of all species are judged by the humans. Thus, emotions are rated according to how humans feel and process. For example, when you see two trees bending toward one another, humans see this as trees comforting one another, which gives humans comfort. These tree emotions can even be registered on electronic machines. When you see sap coming from a tree where a branch has been lopped off, you see this as the tree's tears of sadness. If you keep in mind that everything is energy and that you individually and collectively are creating the world that you experience, you will then understand the human values you put on everything. I think that paragraph is extremely important. So I'm going to reread that particular paragraph. If you keep in mind that everything is energy and that you individually and collectively are creating the world that you experience, you will then understand the human values you put on everything. If you want the tea mug to be a mug being, it is so. The same is true of trees and stone people. If you are unable to see the value of other beings, then you will only be aware of the energy in that which you assign value, such as humans and animals. So, what I'm taking from this is everything that we assign a value to, that being's energy we then relate to. I know myself, when I give away a sweater or a blouse or anything, really, I always thank it for its service to me. And then I thank it for its service that it's going to give to the next person who wears it or uses it. Because to me, this has its own energy, and it's energy that I've assigned to it, but it's an energy. And you know how when we look in the closet and we say, okay, that's what I want to wear today, it's almost like that particular shirt or sweater or whatever kind of stood out and said, hey, choose me, choose me. Not everybody experiences that. Not everybody feels that. But that's kind of how I see it. So I want to say hello to everybody. Michelle, hope you are well, and thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and time with us. Thank you, Michelle. Believe me, it is my honor and my privilege to do so. And as you know, sometimes it's not always easy. Grace, love from Australia. Thank you. We so appreciate that. Judith, hello, sending love. Accepted and appreciated. And Grace, pets are pure love and help us to stay in the present. Absolutely, Grace. My pets are, well, it's tough to let them go when it's their time to go, and that Daisy's still hanging in there, but she would probably be the first one to say, getting old ain't for wimps, and I would certainly agree with that. So thank you all. I'm so glad you're here today, and again, I apologize for throwing everybody or anybody's schedule off. If you were looking for me Friday, it's rare that I'm not there on a Friday. Daisy has to come first, and she needed me, and I just wasn't up to leaving her. So here we are. We're going to get our message from here, and we just flip through, and wherever that page opens, there we go. And I'm hearing left, but I always read both sides. If you heard left, our intuition is in sync. If you heard right, please listen carefully, because that's a message that you need to hear as well. So here's what we have for the left. Once you understand yourself, you will be better able to understand another. Once you understand yourself, you will be better able to understand another. I love the way our messages from this book that Phillip gave me always correspond to the question and our message, the longer message. Because if we understand ourselves, then perhaps we're better able to understand the energy of a book being, shall we say, or the energy of a mug, or the energy of a tree, because everything is energy. And so, is there a tree being? Sure. Are there stone people? Sure. Are there books that have their own beingness? I think so. On the right, it says, as you think, so you create. As you think, so you create. We all know that, but we need reminded of that over and over. I thank you for being with me. I thank you for holding Daisy and your healing energy and your prayers, and for holding my heart as well. And I thank you so much for the love that you receive, that you send me, and the love that you do receive when we send it out to you. This week, I'm going to do my best to be with you again on Friday for our next question. And I will also, I'm not sure what day this week, but I only have a couple of days left. So hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to, if all goes well, I'll be able to tomorrow speak to you of the April um, predictions. So that's coming up as well. So busy week on YouTube. Again, if you have questions, please keep them general, and you can put them in the comments below, and we will put them in the queue and answer your questions. I thank you all so much for being with me, and I thank you for holding Daisy and holding us, as I don't think she's yet ready to make her transition. She seems to be improving, but I pretty much thought that we were saying goodbye to her. But now she's telling me, no, I'm not ready to go yet. So that's okay. We'll just keep loving her and taking care of her. Thank you all. Love yourselves. Take care of yourselves. And yes, love your pets. And who knows? Maybe those stone people will speak to you one of these days, or answer your question. Thank you. Until a few days from now. See you then. Oh, Michelle, much love. You take care of yourself and needs first. I felt that with Daisy too. Thank you. It's always good to have confirmation of that. I will tell you, a friend of mine who's also an animal communicator, I did have a couple of different friends actually wanted to read for Daisy, and this particular friend told me that she said, I would have thought Daisy was saying she was staying around for you. And I thought, I would too. And she says, well, no, Daisy told me her life is so good, she's not quite ready to give it up. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Thank you all. Love you all so much and so appreciate you. Until a few days from now for the April predictions. Until then.